Jin Wang is racist. How does he compare to his classmates when it comes to racist attitudes? Is he better or worse? Explain.
I think he is racist. 'Cause he's kind of just like everyone else, like everyone wants to fit in. But it's still, like when he calls Wei Chen fresh off the boat on page 191, like he's trying to fit in and whatever, but I still think it's racist to call people that. So.
I agree with Steen, because he also called Wei Chin fresh off the boat on page 89 for not being an American-born citizen. So I think Jin's a little racist at times, but not nearly as bad as his classmates and teachers at the beginning of the book when he first got there and when Wei Chin got there.
That's like what sorry.
So I think that like he's not as racist, but at the same time, any racism isn't good.
Yeah, that's like kind of what I said. At first when I like read this question, I was like, no, he's not racist. Like he was receiving the racism. But then when I looked closer, he says to Wei Chen on page 37, you're in America, like speak English, and then your guys' examples of him calling Wei Chen fresh off the boat and stuff. And like, so yes, he's racist, but then I think the source of his anger to be racist was different than the other kids in the school. So the other kids were calling Jin names like just because like they thought that was the funny thing to do. But I think Jin was doing it to Wei Chen because he was kind of angry and like he received that, so he felt like, why am I getting it? Like he should get it too, kind of. So it was kind of out of anger, and that doesn't make it okay, obviously. But I think their sources of anger for the racism were a little bit different.
I agree with Emily in the the source of racism is also different. Like an example, like on page 96, a bunch of kids said they were like cold and they had like gook bumps when they saw Wei Chen and Jin and Susie because they're like Asian. And I think a big reason that like Jin is kind of racist toward Wei Chen is because like possibly he could be like, oh well, I got hate for this, I'm gonna try to like tone you down so you don't get as much hate as I got. But like another thing is, yeah, he's like trying to like spread the racism so it's not just aimed at him. And I don't know, one question that brings up though is it okay to be racist toward your own kind because like you're kind of being racist toward yourself, or is it worse?
It's definitely still not okay, because, I don't know, it's not okay, but it's probably not as worse, because it's obviously a little more, like, friendly and joking, but, and then I also believe that Jin Wang was nowhere near as racist as his classmates, but even though he still was. For example, on page 96, some of his classmates are walking by him, and they go, hey, Chinkets getting a little nippy out here, and then you're right, I'm getting gook bumps, and like there's obviously only like one or two examples of Jin being racist, but there's just so many like obsessive stereotypes that his classmates use.
I agree with that. But like I'm like that. I do, and I do think he was like I do think he was kind of racist, but at the same time I don't, because like because at the same time he was trying to like fit in to like different like spots like in like his like in like his school and like society and stuff. Because on page 33, like his classmates called him fucktooth for and so and just to make themselves like feel better, like more like high above like than him.
I agree with Emily about where the source of racism come from. And for example, on page 36, when he says, something made me want to beat him up when Wei Chen was introduced to the class, I think that was because he got like bullied and racist comments towards him, he wanted to do the same thing to Wei Chen. And same thing when I think his classmates are way worse to him because they're talking about arranged marriages on page 31 and eating dog on 38, and I just don't think it's as bad as Wei Chen was, or Jin was, because Jin has like very little, and his classmates have like this much.
Your name's Emma, right?
Yeah.
Like back to what you said when you said Wei Chen. I mean, Jin was being racist to Winchan because saying like he's gonna get it worse than him since he already got bullied for it. Like on page 36, he said when he Winchan first day of school and he got introduced to the class, Jin said something made me want to beat him up, something like that. I feel like that relates to what you said. And then I also said for the beginning of my question, do you think Jin is racist? I said yes, the way Jin talked to him on his first day, telling him to talk English like you said. And
yeah, I agree. I feel like Jin's racism after I feel like that roots from him being bullied at first when he came to the new school. And then I feel like that caused him to branch out and be racist to the other people just because it made him feel a little more confident, just so he could give him make him feel worse like he did, so he can have someone there, I guess. And I feel like his racism is not as bad as the other kids. On page 121, when the kids are pulling their eyes back when they see Chinky, I feel like it's probably the worst racism.
Yeah, I agree with that because on page 33, one of the bullies kind of calls Jin all bucktooth or whatever. Even though he is the bucktooth, I think Jin's kind of the same thing. So he's trying to use whatever racist terms were used at him on other people to make himself feel a little bit good about himself. I don't know.
I also think Jin was not as worse as his classmates. On page 32, panel 4 and 5, his classmates said Jin and the only other race girl in the class, which is Susie, were arranged to get married on her 13th birthday. That was messed up. Cause how did y'all just come up with? I don't even know where they coming up with stuff like this from. And then Jin was worse, so he said he lost his friend for being racist. Towards the end, he lost his friend.
I think another example of how Jin was racist when he was Danny, considered the same person. He was talking to his friends and he was like, I don't even know how Chinky is related to me. And he's just talking crap about him. And then at the end of the book, he started punching him to make him leave. So I think that it kind of shows he's racist and he turned on his family really quickly. So I think that was pretty racist.
We have 6 minutes left. Are we good?
We should probably keep going. We're gonna have so much time left.
Do you guys want to move to the next question? Any final thoughts?
What about okay, maybe we can just change it off of Jen, how with Chinky, how Chinky, I feel like he's racist to himself about he's so excessive. Do you think people ever feel I don't know, maybe you can use Chinky an example too, do you think people feel they're gonna get racism towards them, so they just do it to themselves, so they kind of take the burden themselves, or do you know what I mean?
Just taking in the pride, so people just
Yeah.
don't make fun of you and actually laugh with you.
Yeah,
and
laugh
with
with you.
Yeah. Sometimes. I do that sometimes.
It's just falling on the floor. You laugh at yourself, so when somebody else laughs at you, you can't be as hurt. I feel like he's just doing that so it makes him feel more comfortable instead of being all mad and upset about it.
Well, also one thing to keep in mind is Chinky was the Monkey King the whole time, and the whole idea was he was trying to he was trying to bring Jin back and bring him back to his roots and make him strong. And I feel like he was almost that obnoxious because he was trying to push at Jin's buttons, try to push him over the edge.
Yeah, he served as a subconscious to I don't know, to keep showing Jin that these are the stereotypes that we should these are what people look at us but it shouldn't be like that. So he needs to probably just represent himself as just a normal Asian person instead of those stereotypes, which are very obnoxious.